What's the dumbest thing your principal ever enforced? Our principal stood at the entrance each morning, patting us down with a body scanner and confiscating all our phones until the end of day. He'd implemented this last year after he caught someone cheating on a test, and now phones were contraband. Getting caught with one meant give day suspension, plus a negative letter to all your preferred colleges from the guidance counselor. Our principal loved telling us that phones were destroying our generation's ability to focus, but my dad had Parkinson's and used a wheelchair. Mom left us, meaning I was his primary caregiver and needed a way to reach him. Other kids with parents going through health issues couldn't get updates about emergency complications. Students with younger siblings had no way to know if they made it home safe from elementary school. Sean's brother got hospitalized because Sean couldn't warn him their abusive stepdad had found his hidden money last night, and we all walked around completely cut off from the people who depended on us. Chris got suspended for trying to sneak his phone past the scanner by wrapping it in foil. Sarah lost her merit scholarship when she ran into the office and retrieved her phone to call her mom about the hospital switching her medication. I spent 7 months without a phone, managing dad by literally running home during both lunch breaks. 25 minutes there, 5 minutes checking on him, 25 minutes back, arriving breathless and sweaty to afternoon classes. Other kids started noticing my routine, and some found it hilarious. Your dad could be having a heart attack right now and you'd never know, Tyler said during chemistry. Bet he's face down on the floor while you're learning about covalent bonds. The worst part was he was right. That's why I decided to game the system. I got myself a cheap burner phone, and next morning brought 2 phones through security. The detector inevitably beeped, and I surrendered my regular phone before walking on with my second phone tucked. I stashed it behind a loose tile in the 3rd floor bathroom that nobody used. And every morning after that, I'd retrieve it, slip it in my backpack, then put it back in the tile at the end of the day. I only ever used it to check on dad between classes. Everything was going great until Mr. Lee walked into the bathroom while I was texting dad to see if he remembered his heart pills. I dropped the phone and quickly kicked it behind the toilet and doubled over pretending to be sick. Another time, I failed a whole class because of it. I spent 20 minutes silently calming dad down during a panic attack, and by the time I got to English, the exam had already started. Mr. Joe wouldn't let me in and gave me a 0. Still, I had 3 months until graduation, so I figured I could hang on. But dad was getting worse, now forgetting conversations, falling over randomly. Every day alone was a risk, so I paid our neighbor to check on him 3 times per day for $20 a week. I bought a smart home system that sent alerts to my hidden phone. We developed routines, backup plans, prepared for everything. But life doesn't care about preparation. One morning, the old heater dad loved using broke down. He wanted to fix it while I was in school, but the heater was old. The wire would randomly spark. It was a fire hazard. I got him to swear he wouldn't try. I'll wait till you're home, he said with extremely shaky hands. That afternoon, the principal was substituting for our history teacher. He was droning on about the Constitutional Convention when my phone silently vibrated against my ribs. I checked carefully under my desk. Smart home alert. Smoke detected. Master bedroom. Then another. Smoke detected. Hallway. Another. Kitchen. My face went white. Dad had tried to fix the heater. I stood up, my chair scraping. I need to leave. Bathroom emergency. But he didn't even pause his lecture. Sit down. No, I need to go. My bladder is. Your bladder is perfectly. Sit down or you're suspended. The worst thing was not actually the house on fire, but the fact it was 1:15 p.m. You see, dad always took his pain sedatives at 1. They knocked him unconscious for about an hour every time. Right now, he was in his bedroom, in his wheelchair, dead asleep while smoke filled the house. I had to choose between risking college applications or my dad's life. There was no choice. I ran out to call 911. I pressed the phone against my ear, but the line went dead. My call wouldn't go through. I frantically tried again, thinking my shaking fingers had mistyped, but it went dead again. That's when I realized I had no signal. My mind started racing, thinking how this was possible when I just gotten my smart home alert. I clearly had internet. Well, that's when I came to the second realization. The smart home alerts came through because I was connected to school Wi-Fi. I needed signal to call, and the principal had clearly put signal blockers everywhere, and so I ran. I ran down the hallway dialing desperately, hoping somewhere had signal. Teacher saw me and started yelling, but I didn't care. I ended up at the front door. Then I turned the handle and realized it was locked. I started sobbing, thinking this dumb rule was about to cost my dad's life. I sprinted down 4 different hallways to the nearest fire exit. The alarm started going off immediately, and I dialed 911. I gave the operator my home address, explained everything, then started sprinting home. I got there 20 minutes later, where I saw dad getting loaded onto an ambulance. The medic said he was alive, but that even 2 more minutes would have called him. I walked back into school a full week later when my dad was home again. My first period back, the principal stormed into our classroom and pulled me out. He marched me to his office where he sat me down. So you think you're exempt from our 0 phone policy? Full story on the channel below.